The hurricane that left a trail of destruction across Florida is now headed towards South Carolina. It's been downgraded to a tropical storm, but officials say it could continue to wreak havoc.
Back in Florida, the cleanup is set to take weeks, if not months, for some communities. US correspondent Mitch McCann reports from the Florida coast.
Supercharged by Florida waters as warm as a hot tub, Idalia arrived packing an almighty punch.
Oh, there it goes.
200-kilometre-an-hour winds enough to topple over this petrol station, while this vehicle was flipped into the air and then tossed down onto another car. It has been 150 years since this part of Florida was in the eye of the storm. Monster rain and strong winds cut power to 250,000 homes. Idalia was creating her own electricity as she approached the Gulf, captured in this striking image taken from space. But despite pummeling America's Sunshine State, it could have been much worse.
We're still assessing what is all going on the ground in the places that had the initial impact.
As we filmed a flooded road, we met Shelley Milletti and her dogs. She rode out the storm in what can only be described as a night from hell.
1 minute it wasn't there, and within 35 minutes my entire house was flooded with about 6-7 inches of rain.
She's thankful to have made it out, and it's understandable that she's trying to put on a brave face.
I'm amazed you're still smiling, to be honest.
What can I do? I'm beyond exhausted, and I've lost everything in my home.
So sorry to hear that.
First time ever.
Shelley has more belongings to collect and invited us with her to see the town for ourselves. What we find is a community submerged, and for Shelley, the pain of this hurricane becomes all too real. As she goes off to collect her things, we take a look around town. Cars are submerged, homes are inaccessible, and palm trees pop up above the surface of the main street.
This is the town of Crystal River on Florida's coastline. It's known as one of the state's historic towns. Today, there is no way you can get a car through here. It's absolutely flooded. The only way through the streets is on an airboat.
Terrible. Everything's underwater. People getting stuck. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
Shelley plans to go back tomorrow, determined to keep going and to start cleaning up. She has no other choice.
I'm going to try to get back in there tomorrow and start getting this stuff out. Or start a GoFundMe account because I don't have insurance.
For many here, hope is all they have during hurricane season, as hard as it might be to keep clinging on.
Gosh, well, Mitch joins us now from Tampa, Florida. Mitch, where is Idalia headed now?
Good evening, Sam. To the Carolinas, North and South Carolina. In fact, in the last couple of hours, we've learned that it has arrived in South Carolina with reports of surges, storm surges, in Charleston. And although it's not a hurricane anymore, it's a tropical storm, officials are telling people to be warned and be vigilant because it could be very dangerous and still cause a lot of damage. Meanwhile, here in Florida and in Citrus County, where much of that story was filmed, there is a curfew in place tonight for two reasons. The first one is possible contamination of the water there, and the second is displaced wildlife. There is concerns that there are alligators in those floodwaters. In fact, on one of the boats today that we were on, someone got on board and told us they had just seen an alligator near their home in the floodwaters. So it is a genuine concern for many people and part of the reason why there's a curfew tonight. And we've also been told by many locals since we've been here in the last couple of days to watch out for snakes on the water, on the road and in the grass. So just another thing for people to be concerned about here in Florida as that cleanup really begins.
Well, you guys stay safe too from those alligators and snakes. Thanks so much, Mitch.